I'm Janet Miller. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm real close to the Ohio River. I have many varieties of roses, probably about 300 bushes and about 200 different varieties. I have miniatures, mini flora, floribunda, hybrid tea, grandiflora, and climbers, and a couple of shrubs. And they're all different and they're all beautiful. I was a vegetable gardener and thought flowers were frivolous, but I bought a house that had a garden in the very back of the property. I didn't look at it before I bought the property. After I bought the property, I walked back there expecting to find a great vegetable garden. Well, there were 50 rose bushes there. And so I had to learn really quickly how to deal with roses. I found out that roses are a lot of work, they're high maintenance, but they're worth every minute. I've been growing roses for about 35 years now. I just love roses. I spend every day in the rose garden, and I can't think of a better way to spend my time. Miniatures are short and they have smaller blooms. And miniatures have a lot of constant color because they just bloom a lot. And then there's mini floras, which are taller with a smaller bloom. And that's what my Kentucky Marmalade and the Autumn Splendor are, is mini floras. And then there's Floribunda, and it has blooms that won't center. They're flatter blooms, but they're more per stem. So they come up in sprays. Those are Floribundas. And then grandifloras and hybrid teas are really very well related. Hybrid teas are the florist rose. That is a long stem rose that you give on Valentine's Day. And those are the roses that are the most coveted and the ones that I cut for the vase and give away to my friends. Some varieties have wonderful fragrance, some don't. It all depends on the variety that you've chosen. As I said, roses are high maintenance. They take a lot of care, and you don't just stick them in the ground and forget them. They need water, they need a regular watering program, they need a regular spray program. They have to be sprayed or else they get black spot. Roses want to be cut because cutting stimulates new growth. Soil is just key. You've got to have the pH of about 6.5. And in our area, most gardens, most of the soil is up at 7 because we have a limestone bedrock, which is why horses are so happy here. They have strong bones. Well, that's great. It makes for strong roses, but not necessarily a lot of blooms. And so 6.5 is the perfect pH. The one thing that's essential is sun. You've got to have at least 6 hours of sunshine. I have lots of tips, tons of tips. My biggest tip, the rules for roses change throughout the season, and you have to know what you're doing at the beginning of June, just like you need to know what you're doing at the end of June, because it's different. And so you have to have good advice. My favorite tip is that once you cut your rose and have it in your cup of water, you'll cover that bouquet with a plastic bag of some kind and put it in your refrigerator and keep it in the refrigerator for an hour up to a week. And that will extend the life of your cut rose. For years, I cut my roses and I'd set them on the table and they'd immediately start to die. Well, this extends the life of your roses by 3 times. Kentucky Marmalade is a mini flora, and it was a sport off of the Autumn Splendor. See how Autumn Splendor has a lot of yellow and orange in the flower. And it's a gorgeous rose. It has a great growing habit. It's really a wonderful rose. Well, one time the bloom came up solid orange. That's called a sport. So I cut that rose and propagated it. It's called slipping. And I slipped that rose, made a new bush, and the new bush came up with orange roses. So that was a new variety, and so I got to name it, and I named it Kentucky Marmalade. My favorite is the one right in front of me. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick Mr. Lincoln. It's a red hybrid tea. I love Mr. Lincoln because of the quality of the fragrance. So I can't show you why Mr. Lincoln is my favorite, but I could smell you into it.